Hey, football fans, welcome back to another episode of Lions Latest, the show where we gather around to talk about my favorite team in the NFL, the Detroit Lions. I'm your host, Bryan Hanes, and we have some stuff to talk about with the Vikings and about some stuff going on social media. So let's jump into the video. But beforehand, if you're not already, please consider going down and hitting subscribe. If you do that, you will not miss a single video we put out. We post Monday through Friday with all the new things happening in the Detroit Lions world. So if you're a Lions fan or just a football fan in general looking to stay clocked in, tuned in, make sure you guys stick around and hit subscribe. With that being said, though, we're going to start today's video with matchups in the Vikings game. So while this might be a meaningless game, I still want my team to win regardless. If there's one thing you should keep optimistic about the Lions moving forward, it is that our passing offense has remained quite effective despite losing some key pieces. Despite the losses of guys like Sam Laporta, the constant shuffling of the offensive line, and some serious struggles in the run game, even some strong defense in recent weeks, the Lions have still had some comfort throwing the ball, and that's true. I think a big part of why we stayed so close in the Steelers game at all was the fact that we were able to pass the ball because you remember we had like no rushing yards whatsoever in that game. So it definitely came down to how well we could pass the ball, and that definitely has been our strength. I feel like at the beginning of the year, it wasn't necessarily our strength. And I think that's why we've been so odd this year, switching back and forth to different methods of attacking and stuff like that. I feel like at the beginning of the year, we relied so much on our run, and the run wasn't working because of the O line. And then we tried passing, and then pass protection wasn't too good. But I think we finally found a happy medium with our pass game. Right now, we are second in passer rating and fifth in yards per attempt. The Vikings' pass defense, though, is an absolute terror, and they started with their last game against the Lions. The return of edge defender Andrew Van Ginkel has been huge help for that defense, and it seems like Minnesota has settled in very nicely to that new, not new, but just full established defensive plan, placing in top 3 or top 10, allowing around 170 to 200 passing yards per game. And they show excellent success rate in stopping opponents' plays, particularly in the pass. They get a lot of passes defended. They got guys who are sticky on man coverage. So they're definitely a challenge when it comes to passing with them. That does not do us any favors. And on top of that, the run game was extremely slow last week. So I'm not even sure what that's going to look like if we have to go to a run game. We might just have, it might just be a matter of, can we complete more passes than they can defend? Because I'm not sure how much of a factor our run game is going to be in this game. Maybe keeping them on the field longer is going to have to be our plan. Wear out their defense, make it easier for us to get over top. Maybe let J-Mo get some stuff done. On the other hand, they are dealing with backup quarterback Max Brosmer right now, who hasn't done anything special, if you ask me. I'm afraid to say it again because we always lose when I do. But on paper, this is a matchup that should favor us. And if we can prevent turning the ball over on offense and not let their defense get any takeaways, not let their defense score any points, then I have, I have confidence we can at least stop Max Brosmer, even though our defense is so beat up. So I think that's really going to have to be the game plan. Just pass better than they can, rely on the fact that our offense is in a better position, and just do all right on defense. We just need a couple stops. So that's what I got on that. You guys can let me know what you think. I think they have a great pass defense, and I think we're rolling with our pass offense. It's just going to be a battle of who wants it more. We'll have to wait and see. But I definitely don't want to be last in the NFC North, so I think the Lions are going to be playing with some vengeance in this game. That'll take us to our second topic of the day. Just talking about a message that Montgomery posted on social media, and it is not making me happy. I don't think it's making any fans happy who have seen it. He put a very mysterious, cryptic post on. The Detroit Lions have used David Montgomery less and less this year than ever before. Some fans are very happy that Gibbs is getting the starting role. He's getting more reps. He's getting to be, this generational running back we think he's going to be. But a lot of fans are also unhappy with the lack of David Montgomery's use, especially with how inconsistent our run game has been this year. Then forcing Gibbs up the middle on so many plays where it seems like Montgomery could be good. Montgomery would get a few good touches in the game, and then they'd yank him for an entire 2 quarters. I can understand the frustration. And on Tuesday, Montgomery used his Instagram in a way he very rarely does. He posted something pretty darn cryptic that left fans very concerned. It was a picture of his jersey just sitting in his locker. Just sitting in his locker during practice. He didn't practice. The general vibe is that people are taking away from this is that Montgomery is ready to go, but he just isn't being used. And this isn't the kind of post that would point towards a trade either. You could read into this as maybe a quote Montgomery says he's going to leave his uniform behind at the end of the season, that kind of thing, right? Um, which would be devastating, man. It just would. The Knuckles to Jameer Gibbs, Sonic Montgomery has had single digit carries in 6 consecutive games. So we're really just not using them. And it is very frustrating. And to be fair, I mean, you see Gibbs, what he does, and you're like, yeah, give Gibbs the ball. He's going to do great things when he has it. But seeing Montgomery almost be an afterthought after the kind of production we had from both of them last year, it's almost like what changed? And I think that's what's frustrating people so more is like we changed something. Why fix something that's not broken? He's averaging 4.6 yards a carry, tied for his best with Detroit, but he's only getting 9.3 runs a game, down from 13.2 last game and 15.6 2 seasons ago. So it is feeling like it's the end of the David Montgomery era in Detroit right now. He's 28 years old, but he feels like he could be doing more, and I feel like he's absolutely in a position to be doing more. So now I ask you guys, is there going to be a trade? If so, to who? And if we in depending on who we give him to, what would we get in return? What is he worth? Or does he just up and walk? It kind of feels like that's what's happening. He is still under a 2-year contract with the Lions through 2027 due to a 2-year, $18.25 million extension signed in October of 2024. So there is a chance he just up and leaves it behind. He just decides to go into the free agency, decides to go to somewhere else because I don't know if we're even going to consider trading him with that last year on his contract. You guys let me know what you think on this. I think it's bumming me out the fact that it's coming down to this. One of our key guys is sad that he's not getting his reps, and one of those guys that have really helped us build the organization, build the Lions into like the powerhouse team people kind of know it as now, right? It sucks that we're kind of just forgetting about him a little bit. You guys can let me know what you think about that. That'll take us into our third topic. Now, I talked about this a little bit in some of my last videos, the Pro Bowl guys who got in, but I want to really focus more on why they got in and what accolades really got them to there. The NFL released Pro Bowl selections Tuesday morning, and the Lions had 5 players on the roster and 5 others who are alternates. A lot of guys from our team. It's because we had a really good offense. We just didn't know really how to use it this year. Linebacker Jack Campbell, running back Jameer Gibbs, edge rusher Aiden Hutchinson, tackle Penei Sewell, and wide receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown have all been named to the Pro Bowl this year. Campbell, Gibbs, Hutch, and Sewell were named Pro Bowl starters. It's the first Pro Bowl selection for Campbell, who is 25 and has become one of the best Mike linebackers in the NFL in just his 3rd season. Yeah, the first season we didn't really see anything crazy from him, just some little flashes. Last year we started to see it a little more, but still I didn't hear his name called that much. It was still Anzalone holding it down. This year, the jump in production has been insane. He's recorded 159 tackles, 83 solo, 9 tackles for loss. So that guy who commented, have you ever seen him get a tackle for a loss? Yeah, he's got 9. 5 sacks and 3 forced fumbles. Campbell has logged 8 games this season with 10 or more tackles and became the NFL's first player to produce a season with at least 150 tackles, 5 sacks, and 3 forced fumbles since Shaquille Leonard in 2018. Heck of a resume. Absolutely deserves a Pro Bowl nod. Good for Jack Campbell. I can only see this production going up to, which just makes me even more excited. Next, we have Gibbs, who's 23 and really has established himself this year and over the last couple seasons as one of the most exciting young prospects in the NFL. He is now a Pro Bowler in back-to-back seasons. He's currently 7th in the NFL in rushing with 1,102 yards, and his 1,662 scrimmage yards ranked number 8. His 17 total touchdowns, 18 rushing, 4 receiving, are only second behind Indianapolis's Jonathan Taylor with 19. Gibbs is averaging 5.31 yards per carry and just passed Barry Sanders for the most touchdowns, 48, a player has logged through 3 career seasons in NFL history. Another one who absolutely deserves the nod. Hutch, who I'm a little surprised got it because it really seems like he has lost a step since that injury, but he's currently tied with Houston's Will Anderson Jr. for the league's lead with 87 total pressures, and his 30 quarterback hits are the 3rd most. Hutchinson is the first player in franchise history to log multiple 10-sack seasons through the first 4 years of a player's career. Give it to him. Sure, why not? I definitely feel like he lost a little bit of a step this year, but I think he still is producing a high level of pressures, and he has been recently finishing his plays. So Why not give it to him? Sewell, 25, earns his fourth straight trip to the Pro Bowl he's really cemented himself not only as one of the best tackles recently, but just one of the best tackles, period. Let's be honest. He is considered to be the best pound for pound athlete in the league today. Sewell just allowed one sack and 6 quarterback hits in 15 starts. He is Pro Football Focus's top graded tackle in the league at 94.9 in the NFL this season. How could you not give it to him? Penny Sewell has really been the one like constant on our team this year, and I love having him around. That's a guy we need to make sure retires a Lion. St. Brown passed Michael Thomas for the season for most receptions by a player with 528 in his first 5 seasons in the NFL in franchise history. It's his fourth Pro Bowl selection for St. Brown in the last 4 seasons. He's caught 98 passes for 1,194 yards, 12.2 on average, with 11 touchdowns this season. Only Los Angeles's Devontae Adams with 14 has scored more than St. Brown among receivers this year. I think that's another no-brainer. Just a guy who's been absolutely insane. Couple of drop passes here and there, but he was dealing with some injuries when that happened. I think St. Brown is another just constant on the team. He's always going to be good, and we need to make sure he retires a Lion. That's what I got on Pro Bowl news, guys. I just wanted to go over some of that and why they got in. I think it's really cool that we have guys on our team who can play at a caliber like this and are producing like this. I just hope now that we can give a little more backup to these guys so we don't fall into irrelevancy and be like the Chargers a handful of years ago, who had a lot of good players who are getting paid a crap load of money, but they just couldn't surround them with anyone who actually make a difference. So let's hope we don't get to that level and we continue to grow our team. And now, just some players returning just before the game tomorrow. This is what I got for you guys. So St. Brown is most likely going to be good to go after he was been dealing with that knee injury. He was limited in practice today, Thursday, today, Wednesday, but they're saying he should be good to go for the game. Lamar Jackson is still questionable. That is the game we need to focus on, is the Ravens-Packers. He's still questionable, which is really worrisome because we need the Ravens to win. However, Malik Willis is believed to be the starting quarterback for the Packers due to Jordan Love's concussion protocol. So there is still a chance for the Ravens to pull that off for us. Not a huge chance, but there's a chance. Come on, Snoop Huntley. On Christmas Eve, those not practicing include Avonte Maddox and David Montgomery because of the cryptic message. He's listed as a illness, but whatever. Those limited are Tristan Cullen, Marcus Davenport, Taylor Decker, Christian Mahogany, Giovanni Manu, Ali McNeil, Al-Qadim Muhammad, technically Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Amik Robertson. So what's bad about that is not having Amik Robertson is going to suck. I mean, I don't necessarily think that their pass offense is going to be blowing anyone away this game, but still, they have Justin Jefferson on that team. And dude, he could do it at any point. Like, he's just one of those players, right? He's been quiet this year, but I think if anything, he's due, right? Taylor Decker, whatever, he's going to take his time to recover. DeMarcus Davenport, I'm not even surprised. We need to get rid of Marcus Davenport. I get it. He's good when he's healthy. He's never healthy. Get rid of Marcus Davenport. Tristan Cullen being limited, that's cool. I'd like to have him come in just for some rotation work. Giovanni Manu and Christian Mahogany being out or being limited kind of sucks. I'm hoping that one of them are good to go. Ali McNeil, Al-Qadim Muhammad, I think they're going to be good to go as well. We're definitely going to need both of them if we want to get to that quarterback. The good news out of all this, Graham Glasgow, our starting center, is at full participation. So we will most likely have a center who isn't third string, fourth string playing with us this week. So if that is the good news we can take away from it, I will take it. With that being said, that is all the time I have for today. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Lions Latest. If you made it to this point in the video, tell me what your predictions for our game against the Vikings, and tell me who you think is going to be the biggest contributor on our team. Give me the score prediction in the comments right now. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell so you never miss a single update here. Happy holidays. Go Lions. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you